This video was hard to make. It's hard for me to want to get outside. It's hard for me to want to hit record. It's hard for me to get my camera out and start making something. It's easier to just stay at home and not do anything. It's easier to leave the camera in the bag. I've always come up against resistance to making things. This video was hard to get started. I don't know if there's an element of embarrassment, imposter syndrome, feeling like I don't want people to see me doing a thing. It's hard for me even to put all my gear together and get everything prepared if somebody sees that I was doing that. I don't know why that is. I think I just, for some reason, feel like I'm going to be laughed at or made fun of, or somebody's going to think that I'm trying to be something that I'm not. Or maybe I feel like I'm trying to be something that I'm not. It's hard to get started on something. It's hard to actually pick up a camera, to put it around your neck, to grab it and start taking a picture. I've been trying to overcome some of these hurdles to my own creativity. The resistance that I feel. It is hard. And I feel like I don't know where to start a lot of the time. I've tried several times to start making something. And usually I get all my stuff together and then realize that I actually don't have my stuff together because I don't have a plan. I don't have content, to use that word. I don't have a vision. I don't have an idea that captures my own imagination, much less anybody else's. I'll sit down with a notebook. I'll write down some things. None of them feel interesting. None of them feel like there's anywhere to go with it. And oftentimes, I just sit there and stare at a blank page with nothing to put down. I don't have ideas, or at least I feel like I don't. And I think part of it is trying to be too perfect. I feel like I need to have the perfect idea before I start. I feel like I need to have the perfect plan. I need to have the right introduction. I need to have the right method. I need to have the right equipment. I only have one or two lenses for my camera, and one of them is just a kit lens that doesn't have anything amazing about it. And so I stop and I don't actually do anything. It's easy to scroll endlessly through lists of lenses and cameras and microphones and recording equipment, and to say, well, once I get that, then I can start doing something. Once I have that next piece, or whatever the case may be, then I'll start creating. Then I'll start making something. Then the ideas will come. And so I buy something, usually something small, and it feels like it's the right thing to get me started. Like this microphone, for example, it felt like the right thing for me to get started was buying this microphone. And then it sat in a pouch for months, and I did nothing with it. I didn't have a plan. This video I felt unprepared for. I'm using my iPhone to record it. I didn't have a video camera. I didn't have something that felt appropriate to use for making this video. I wanted to have this camera with me because I felt like it would look cool. And so I needed a different camera to record myself with this one. And I didn't want to start because all I had was my phone, and that felt like it wasn't the right thing. It wasn't the right tool. I've always given myself an excuse for not starting, like the weather. The weather's not beautiful today. It's not enough light. It's not the right kind of light. The trees don't look pretty. There's not snow on the ground, or there is snow on the ground, or the sun's not shining, or it's shining too much. And I always give myself an excuse, and I say, not today. It's not quite right. But getting out, even today, it's cloudy. The sun is barely peeking through the cloud over there right now. It's a gray day. The trees don't look great. The leaves are dying. Everything is a bit drab and dreary. It's wet on the ground. There's not as much snow as there was a couple days ago. A lot of it's melted and it's soggy. And I would normally let these things prevent me from starting. And so often it has. I've waited too long for just the right thing. And I think this element of perfectionism is what keeps me from starting so much of the time. I want to start, but then I give myself 1,000 reasons why I shouldn't. And I don't look for any reason to actually do it. I don't look for a reason for doing what I want to do. I know that I want to. I know that I would enjoy it. I would enjoy the process. I've enjoyed being out here today. But I always default to not doing it. Instead, I'll watch another YouTube video about a great lens that came out recently, or a great new camera that makes me wish that I didn't have mine, but I had that new one. And because I don't have that new one, I stop and I don't start. I've also allowed thoughts to prevent me from starting, such as, well, there are already too many photographers. There are so many out there. There are so many people who want to be a photographer. People have phones that can take good pictures. People have family who will take pictures of them. People have, friends that they know. They've got other people who will take pictures for them. Why do I think that I can be successful being a photographer, video maker, anything else? There's already 1 million YouTube channels specifically about being a photographer. There's hundreds of millions of channels, if not billions at this point in total. Why would I think anybody would pay attention to me? And I think I just need to be okay with the fact that people may not pay attention to me. And that's not a reason to stop. That's not a reason to not start on a project just because I don't think somebody's going to pay attention. On the flip side, I feel like I would often stymie myself if I thought people were going to pay attention. And I wouldn't start because people would be paying attention. And that would be enough to stop me. And so there's a dichotomy. There's always the thing that keeps me from creating. If that were solved, would keep me from creating in some ways. And so I stall out. I don't do anything. There's too many other people. And why do I think I have anything worth sharing? Why do I think I have any ability that's better than theirs, different enough than theirs, Do I have a different take? Do I have a new spin? Do I have something to say? And people who give you advice on creating will say that you need to find that thing that you can't help but say, and that will draw people in. Or you can't create until you find your voice, or you need to carve out your niche, or you need to, diversify, separate yourself from the competition, whether that's other creatives or in the market. And because I don't have a clear idea of what that looks like, I haven't done anything. I've stopped. And as a result, nothing has been created. And then there's the question of artificial intelligence. Why would somebody pay or look for pictures taken by real people on real cameras of real things that they could just easily have AI create something for? Why take a picture of a beautiful tree when somebody can create a picture of a beautiful tree? Why take a picture of a beautiful tree when 1,000 other people have taken a picture of that exact same tree in much better conditions? Why start? Why do it? Nobody's going to want it. Nobody's going to look for it. In a gallery of 1,000 pictures, mine wouldn't stand out. Why would I want to take a picture of a boring landscape or a building that's been photographed 1,000,000 times? And I'm using lots of hyperbole here, and I realize that. But this is the way I think about it. This is what keeps me from starting, because I don't believe that I have anything to contribute. I don't feel like I can. Artificial intelligence may be useful in many situations, and its usefulness is compelling. And I think that makes me think that there's no point. There's no point in starting to do something on my own, the hard way, when people can just do it the easy way, and so many people likely will. So, what am I doing out here? Why am I out here rambling on about my own hang-ups for starting on creative projects? Well, this is a classic case of a person who wants to be creative makes a video about not being creative. And while that is a well overplayed trope, and while it is something that is very much played out online, you see it so many places with photographers, filmmakers, YouTubers, podcast creators. Eventually, the question of creating and writer's block and all these things become a topic. And the reason they become a topic is because people like me want to create something. And don't have a topic. And so here I am. I don't have a topic either. I'm just out here to talk. This isn't a woe is me. This isn't a feel sorry for me. This isn't even a leave positive comments about me because I need praise. No, I'm out here because I need to be out. I need to be actually making something. If I want to make something, I need to do it. If I want to get better at what I'm doing, I need to pursue it. And I need to actually take steps to improve. The hardest thing is getting out the door. My wife has been telling me about a a book. I think it was called The Doorstep Mile or something like that. I haven't read it, but in a sense, going outside your door is as good as having gone a mile toward getting to the goal that you want. And sometimes you just have to hit record and ramble for a while to start the process. I'm out here because I've been inspired by creators that I've seen online, other photographers, other filmmakers, other people who want to make an impact. And they've had an impact on me. Specifically, in this case, I'm thinking of a man named Rick Bevington, who has a YouTube channel, and he talks a lot about creative resistance, and it has really resonated with me. Why do I not make what I want to make? It's because I have resistance to making the things, and I've talked about a number of those reasons here. But I just need to start. I need to grab my camera and walk out into the woods and take a picture of something. Is it going to be a great picture? No. That's not the point. Is it going to be a picture that people will want to frame and put on their wall? No. That's not the point. Have I framed these shots for this whole video well? No. That's not the point. Did I shoot all this on an iPhone? Yes. But that's not the point. The point is that I need to get started, or I won't get started. I'll keep telling myself that I'm not good enough, that the conditions aren't right, that if I only had one more piece of gear, that if I just watch a few more YouTube videos, watch a few more reviews, then I'll be ready. And I've been telling myself that for years. Eventually, I'll be ready. And I think what I've realized is that I will never feel ready. I just need to do. Even if it isn't polished, even if it isn't well thought through, even if I don't have all my thoughts gathered in a way that is coherent, I need to start. I need to make a video. Even on a dreary day, in the middle of a wood that's too close to a highway and you can hear cars going by, even though it isn't ideal. And I think that's part of what I'm learning here, is that even if it isn't ideal, that doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Even if it isn't perfect. Over the past month, I've been working on selling some of my camera gear that I had, which was really good and did me well for many weddings that I shot, many family sessions, other photography needs. I sold it all, or not all of it, but a good bit of it. And I bought this one, which is in many ways nearly identical. But I think it's helped me to again see that I like taking pictures. There's something about getting a new piece of kit, whether it's all that impressive or not, that makes me feel inspired to go out and create something. I've been taking it with me now for this past week as I go to work, and taking a short walk in the middle of the day to go and take some pictures. Challenging myself to walk around downtown, because I work downtown in Kansas City, and there's a lot there that can be photographed. There's a lot there that's really pretty. And it snowed this past week, which makes some of the pictures particularly interesting, in my opinion. But going around and taking pictures of places that I already am makes a lot of sense. I don't have to go anywhere exotic to find things that can be photographed in a way that it makes it interesting. Challenging myself to get out and take pictures and actually start doing something has really inspired me to keep going. And I think that's part of what this video is part of me keeping going. This isn't the most beautiful location, but I'm inspired. Just being out here in the middle of a drab, dreary, mostly dead or dying wood in the middle of late fall, early winter, I feel motivated to keep going. This video is very rambly, and who knows if I'll even finish editing it and putting it up, because undoubtedly I will face similar resistance in the editing process. I will start editing and I'll feel embarrassed about what I've made. I'll feel like I didn't say it well. I'll feel like I was sloppy in my diction. I feel like I could have said it better. I could have framed it differently. A million different things. And I may stop. But I think at this point, I feel motivated enough that I think I will go ahead and finish putting it out, even if it's subpar, which it will be, and even if it's not up to a level of perfection that I feel like I should be able to achieve. But I will have made something, and that will feel really good, and that will motivate me to keep going and to make something else. I'll find new ideas. I'll find new things to make a video about, new ideas to share. But just starting is a good thing. My friend CK recently made a video where he too was doing a fresh start, a new beginning on a creative process that for so many of us that are in the creative field feel like we can't keep going for one reason or another, and so we kind of abandon our projects, whether that's having a podcast, having a YouTube channel, taking photographs, doing photography, whatever it may be. We feel like we can't keep going for some reason or other. We feel like we don't have enough time. We tell ourselves that I'll wait till things get better, till I have more time, till the conditions change, till there's more sunlight or less sunlight. But regardless of what it is, pushing through and making something in subpar conditions is what makes us better. Staying motivated to keep going, there's a sort of self-fulfilling aspect to it where you create something and it spurs you on to want to create more. Today was colder than I wanted it to be before I came out here. It's actually been fairly all right. It's not been too cold. In the woods here, there's not been a lot of wind, and so it hasn't felt biting. But yet, I almost didn't come out here. I felt like even just saying out loud that I wanted to come out and make a video was enough for me to say, at least mentally in my head, maybe I don't actually, because that feels pretentious. That feels not like something. I don't really know what. It feels embarrassing to admit that I want to make something. I don't know what the case is. I have a lot of hang-ups, I guess, about my own creativity. There's a tree over here that is sitting at an angle. It's holding on to a rock or some dirt or some kind of mound, and it's angled at maybe 20 or 30 degrees. You just need to find something to hang on to, even if it doesn't look ideal, and keep going. This tree I wasn't intending to make this into a metaphor, but here we are. This is David rambling in the woods now. Not sure how to wrap up a video that he's gotten himself into. Not sure if anybody would even be watching at this point. I don't even know if I'd be watching at this point, honestly.